with a little bit of half and half. All right. It's going to be 323.
Oh man, someone's blocking the whole drive-through.
Oh, geez.
Ugh.
It's Thaison.
Oh.
Obviously, he's not working today.
Yep.
We'll have that right up, okay?
Thank you.
You want to grab that real quick? Super busy. What's
I
up?
know. Just come outside really quick. I got something to show
I got a line of people, dude.
Just meet me out by the mural in 5 minutes.
All right, give me a minute. What's up, dude? We got a full house in there.
I know. I just wanted to show you. You know how I was talking about the Tiddler ride?
Yeah.
Found this bike.
Oh, it's too small for me, dude.
No, not that one. You're gonna ride the Z50.
No.
Trust me, it's gonna be fine.
Come on, dude.
I'll put a little Go Fast kit in this. We'll get that piston beefed out. You'll be fine. Just
I'll
sit
look
on
ridiculous on this.
He gave me a still. Just sit on it. See if it's gonna work. Totally. Dude, he
No.
didn't even give it a shot.
No, we're slammed in here.
The guys are down riding motorcycles in Socorro right now, and we're just here hanging out, running the shop. Everything's pretty casual for a Sunday, even without them here. I think we got it under control. One of my favorite and funniest memories here, I was wiping down a counter next to this like really old wooden wall, and I must have just slid my hand a little too fast. I don't even know. I ended up getting a million splinters in my pinky. I remember you, Thaison, and Steve just running and trying to figure out every single way how to help me. And it was funny to me because it was the smallest thing ever, but the smallest thing could happen to you and you have like a whole team behind you no matter what. Then I have these two owners running to me trying to make sure I'm okay. I thought that was pretty funny.
It's the rides, the destination. It's not the end point really that makes the difference, you know. And a lot of cool characters, a lot of cool displacement bikes you don't see every day.
Obviously, we have the most incredible staff, and Thaison and I usually feel totally comfortable going to events out of town, out of state.
I was thinking about a funny story here, and really, for some reason, all of them came back to Audie and me working together. It's either us showing up with the same hair color randomly, or it was her first month working.
I was told to go mix a drink in the back with like our shaker, but I had no idea how to use it, so I just put everything in there.
Me not remembering she was 16 asked her to go make it, and she had never used a shaker before, and it exploded all over her.
All over my shirt, all over my pants, and all over the counter, made everything sticky.
And I felt so bad, but it was also a funny time.
But I got a second free shirt out of it, so it was okay.
Wrapped around my neck, death was staring me down when I took my first breath. I was close to the light, but far from seeing the end. I was just a black sheep, that's when my daddy said, don't step on toes and don't give me no lip. Some lines can't be crossed, that's how you might end up dead. No small town blues, though it ain't that pretty. I'm just a country boy that made his way to the city. Might be a shock to you. Hair was to my waist. Swedish.
My name is Jaden. I've been a barista here at Russ's Gold for about 6 months now. Born and raised Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's just a tight-knit community. Like, everything feels familiar here. Food's great. People are great. When I first started applying here, I just kept coming in constantly and like kind of bugging everyone just to see if I could get a job. Eventually, I told my friend about it, and he was like, "Oh, the owner of that shop, he was my middle school teacher back in the day." And I was like, "Dude, like you got to put in a word for me. Like I really like this place. Coffee's great. I need a job here. The vibe is amazing."
So we ride with a bunch of guys from sort of southern New Mexico. There's the Antique Motorcycle Club. One of the members, Sam, has this great garage down there with all kinds of really cool memorabilia, motorcycle parts, just all kinds of cool stuff. He does some fabrication. It's just a great place to hang out. It's got a full bar. I mean, it's a guy's place to hang out. It's just incredible. So when we went down there and got ready for this Tiddler ride that Thaison's been wanting to do for a while, it's, you know, bikes from the mid 70s and older, small displacement, little 250s, 125s, that sort of thing. One of the places that we actually stopped at during the course of the ride was this individual that took over this old gas station and garage, and it was just unbelievable. It was all Indian stuff, things that I had never seen, more Indian parts than I think I'll ever see again in my life. It's just a really great place, and it was part of the ride. We all stopped there, and it was really cool. You just never know what you're going to see on these rides or who you're going to meet, and that was a highlight for me, was to see all of that.
I'm Jim Prisner. This is my shop here. I deal in Indian motorcycles. We came here in '75 from Illinois. And then I bought this property in '83 and built this building, and it was a welding shop. I did welding, and then I did automotive engine rebuilding, and I did automotive repair, and we had a parts store in the front. And I had one of these, 1963 was the first one I had. Of course, it had to go back to my childhood someday, so I got a bike for a project, was working on restoring it, and a fellow in Oregon, Jim Petiti at Raceway, called me and said if I wanted to buy his inventory out. And I did, and so I brought all of his inventory, and then after that I went around the country and bought out people's collections and inventories, and I bought a lot of the remaining Newell stock factory inventory that was still available. I'm exclusively the main person in the world that does these bikes. And that's what I do now. So when that guy called me to take over this Indian business, I did that, and it was a good choice because, well, being the only guy, I mean, there are some other guys, but I'm the guy. I had an Indian Chief. That's why I'm crippled in my right leg. I blew out my knee on the Kickstarter. But it was a good bike. It rode good. I'm not really partial to any bike. Just everyone's got their own choices, and they're all good. I just like a modern bike, push the button, just go. I don't want to work on stuff. I just want to ride.
Every time we do one of these events with these guys, I learned something new about these bikes. You know, like I didn't even know this location was here. And, you know, the Indian Warrior TT bike, like a lot of this stuff, like I'm not even familiar with, and it's really cool to see here in the flesh. Yeah. You know, there's guys that would give their right arm to see some of these things, and it's just, it's amazing.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I grew up, my dad is into vintage motorcycles, so I kind of grew up around it, and I've been going to vintage motorcycle shows for years, and I don't think I've ever even seen one of these eras of Scout in the flesh before. They're so uncommon, you know, and it's like that with so many of the other bikes that a lot of the members of our chapter own, and you know, a lot of the people in the AMCA, and I mean, shoot, even some of your clientele, you know, those people do own cool bikes. It's just getting them to bring them out in the public is the hard part sometimes.
I know. Well, we're lucky, man. I'm fortunate. I love these kind of rides. They always come up with like interesting events, you know, that like only a couple crazy people would actually venture onto.
Yeah.
So it's cool to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We followed the group for a good, I think, 10, 15 miles, maybe 20 miles. And as we're getting close to the end of the whole route, Thaison started having problems with the CL. You could tell it was slowing down, losing power. Not really sure what was going on, but ultimately, you know, it just kind of gave out on him, and we had to load up the bike and catch up with the guys at the end of the route at the Buckhorn in San Antonio, New Mexico, a little town kind of off the beaten path with a couple of really great classic restaurants, and had one of the best burgers I've ever had. I think we all had a great time, even though, you know, these things happen with old bikes. They sort of break down and you never know if you're going to make the whole trip, but it's, you know, it's really more about the journey, like everybody says that rides motorcycles. Getting there's great, but the journey's the best part, and we kind of had a great time doing it. So maybe next year I'll do it. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with Thaison's bike now. We got to get it back in the shop and see what's going on.
So sometimes, you know, these events don't always go the way you planned. I knew that little CL was going to struggle for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's this little CL 100. But, you know, it did great for the first half of the ride.
Yeah.
And then it just started kind of overheating, and I got to figure out if it's not getting enough gas or too much gas, and you know how that stuff goes.
I do. So, you know how you really wanted me to do this ride with you? About 2 weeks ago, you started with like, you should really ride, dude. You should really ride. You know, I was telling Fig on the way down here, you know, sometimes it's fun just to observe, you know. Sometimes you're the rider, sometimes you're just the passenger. And I felt like it was cool just to watch all of the cool bikes and have Fig with me and, you know, just see what you guys were doing. And You know what happens?
Yeah,
The last time we did an antique motorcycle ride, it was me that got towed home.
exactly. You know, and I think it was just a cool kind of spur of the moment thing anyways. It was, like I said, it was cool to be out here. Cool to see all the old bikes and the guy's Indian garage was really cool to see.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm glad we did it. It's a little bit of a bummer that the Honda didn't make it, so I got to dig into that carburetor when we get home and see what's going on.
It's the nature of the beast, though, right?
This
is kind of what we do when we ride vintage bikes. We never know. You know, maybe they're going to make it all the way, maybe not, but it's all part of the fun.
Yeah. So good times here.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Georgie. I'm a barista here at Rest is Gold. I've been a barista for about 3 months now, and I really like it. It's been really fun. Well, I like the community. I've actually written a lot about this shop for my school. So how I actually started working at Rest is Gold is I was already a previous barista working at a different coffee shop, and I would come to Rest is Gold all the time. And then with my partner, Din, he would always bring me Rest is Gold, and so I would just have my drink at my other shop, which is kind of funny, but that's because I personally really like Rest is Gold and their coffee. It's really good quality, and my favorite is the honey lavender, besides my benefit drink that I really like as well.
Hi, I'm Ree. I've been here about 2 years as a barista at Rest is Gold. I love coffee. I love the community. I love seeing the same people day after day. It's no secret that I love the dogs. That's probably the best part, is when they bring their dogs in. One of our regulars likes to bring in his dog. His name's Tucker, and he's a total sweetheart, and it just brightens our whole day.
Dude, what do you think happened?
I think the bike was just overheating. It was pretty warm out there. I think probably got to check valves.
Yeah.
You know, just make sure valves are good. I'm going to go through the carb.
You ready?
Kickstand. Yeah. I mean, the bike ran good for the first half.
Yeah, so light, dude. It's so freaking light.
Hey,
what's up, CJ?
Heard you guys were getting back from your ride. How did everything go?
Well, I'll let him tell you about it.
Well, you know, it wasn't terrible. It was good. The bike made 2/3 of the leg, and then it was just warm out there, so it started overheating a bunch. Have you ridden something this size?
Not since I was very young.
Okay.
Yeah, my first bike was about this size.
Nice.
Dude, he's like 6'4".
It would look great on him.
Yeah, like a giant riding a tricycle.
Totally. That's why Steve didn't want to go. I think he was feeling like a big monkey on big ape on a football, you know?
Totally.
So yeah, it was a fun event. You know, actually, the biggest goal that I had for this bike, to be honest with you, was just get it running, do some cosmetics to it, and then make that Tiddler ride, and then probably just donate it. You know, we did that charity event, what was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So it's funny you guys should mention that, because I was thinking about talking to you about trying to partner up on some sort of a charity deal. I mean, we've had such a good run partnering all the moto meetups and all the other events we've done together. I kind of thought maybe it'd be a good idea to see if we could get some sort of charity deal going. I'm sure you guys know Bert sponsors a lot of charities here in town, and I have a lot of work I'm trying to do on our promotions, so I thought maybe it'd be fun to, you know, get some sort of a moto-oriented charity raffle or giveaway of some kind, and maybe we could figure out what charity would, you know, be good for both of us, and see if we could promote that.
Man, we'd love to work with you guys on something like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially on Thaison's bike.
What do you think it'll take to get this bike ready to give it away?
I'd say it's probably about 90% there. Honestly, just a little cosmetics. Steve and I were going to go through the valves anyways, check the valve clearance, maybe the carbs. This was a mock-up seat, so I was thinking probably getting the original seat back.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing if House of Covers could do us a cool little cafe or flat track style seat.
Yeah.
Or even go back to sort of the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just kind of, you know, change it up, slim it down. And, you know, I think a lot of times when you do these raffle bikes, we want to make sure the bike is good to go.
Right.
100%. So maybe Bert can actually do us a solid, see what some of like the legalities of that too is as we're raffling off this bike and someone's going to potentially take this thing home.
Yeah, we can check into that. But, you know, I think part of what we could do too is help contribute to the full finished restoration of the bike to make sure it's good to go for whoever the end user becomes.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I can help a lot with promotion too.
Okay.
The kind of thing that'll help drive some traffic to know about the bike, know about the charity cause, and hopefully sell a lot of raffle tickets so
Totally.
that there's, more that we can contribute to those charities.
Maybe we should sit down with Bert sometime.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, let me get with Bert and I'll invite him over and see if we can sit down and just have a chat and kind of work through some of the details. But in the meantime, yeah, keep me in the loop on what you need to do for the bike, because I think it'd be a great idea.
We got a couple months left, right?
Yeah, we got
before
some time.
we start up the Moto meetup, so we can get this all dialed in before then.
That would be awesome.
Well,
Cool,
thanks,
CJ,
PJ.
thanks.
Thanks for stopping
Thaison.
in, yeah.
Appreciate you, bud. Thanks for
Steve.
coming out.
Absolutely.
Well, we got back from the Tiddler ride, and sure enough, we walked in, and of course, Bree's out there playing with the dogs. The steamer's going off, espresso's overflowing, but nothing exists besides, the dog that's right there in front of Ree, and she's out there just having a good time, hugging and playing on the dog.
We did a benefit kind of raffle about 2 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And we've just been meaning to do that, and I think this bike could be a cool bike to raffle off for our community and see if we can raise some money and donate it somewhere local. So that's kind of what we're about.
I can't decide.